thank you, Nick, for being here and for taking time out of your very busy schedule. We really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yes, so Nick, you've actually interacted with some service providers across the IT landscape, and you've seen some of them actually working through the clouds and through the limitations and the constraints. You've also actually seen the HCL MyCloud, which is what we believe is a very ambitious initiative to ensure that we can orchestrate workloads between the private clouds and the public clouds, and overcome the standards limitation and the communication protocols and that kind of stuff. So do you think that's a step in the right direction?
I definitely think it is, and as you know, I was very impressed by the kind of the ambitious scope of MyCloud, and of course it's up to you guys to actually fulfill that vision. And I think there are other other IT suppliers that are trying to do similar things, whether it's HP or CA or whatever. But this is, in the big switch, I think I said that one of the keys is going to be the creation of what I call cloud interfaces. That, just as we needed a new operating system for the PC that would do something completely different than old operating systems, we need a new way to interact with the cloud in all its kind of complexity, in all its kind of variety. In things like MyCloud, things like the other types of interfaces that are being developed, I think are going to be crucial on the one hand to users, to allow them to get the whole power of cloud computing, and on the other hand are going to be central to competition on the supplier side. We're going to see, in many ways, I think we're going to see kind of a battle of interfaces in the next few years, and we don't know how that will turn out, but the kind of innovation that competition is going to push forward is going to be very important to the end user and to the end user's ability to get the full value out of cloud computing.
Great, thank you. That's very encouraging. So it's a great point. I have a question from the supplier side. We have seen that anything that is atomic or molecular actually goes through inflation. It is inflationary in nature. And everything that is bits, 0, 1, as in IT, it actually deflates, and it's actually a race to the bottom. Right now, the cloud is based on the fundamental infrastructure technology, which is bits, which is 0, 1. And so while clouds actually follow the same part of IT, as IT doesn't matter, and again in your counterintuitive argument you talk about it does matter, but where it does and where it doesn't, in the race to the bottom, how do suppliers take care of the fact that they can work on the cloud so that while it's losing value because of the deflation, they're able to add enough value back into the system so that it kind of gives them an economic progress model, or kind of makes them add more value?
I think that's going to be the central question that suppliers grapple with. And I think what we'll see, in a way that we really haven't up until now, is a much clearer break between those two layers. What turns into pure commodity and what remains kind of differentiated in having distinctive value for customers. And what I think we're going to see, and you see signs of this already with, say, Amazon Web Services kind of commodity pricing of compute capacity and storage capacity, is increasingly the cloud is going to turn a lot of that basic infrastructure into raw commodity. And ultimately it'll probably be exchanged, and traded like raw commodity, compute cycles, storage capacity and so forth. But what we've also seen throughout history is as you go through this natural process of driving down the cost of kind of the basic infrastructure of computing, you create the ability to innovate in new ways. You create the ability to figure out entirely new ways to tap into this cheap infrastructure to build distinctive services. And I think that's going to be, whether you're looking at the consumer market or the business market, where suppliers are going to be able to differentiate themselves, create value, sustain their profit margins and so forth, is figuring out entirely new ways to use computers in the years ahead. Maybe that's applications, maybe that's data services, Maybe that's the interfaces that integrate these things. And it's very hard to predict by nature where these things are going to come about, because the fact that it's hard to predict allows individual companies to actually innovate in ways that other companies find it hard to copy, which is the essence to creating high value, high profit services. So what we're going to see in one sense is a continuation of the long-term trend of IT, which is the rapid drop of a lot of things into the commodity area. And then it's going to be up to the individual companies to figure out how do we build on that commodity infrastructure to create valuable new services.
Great, Nick. So thank you so much for your time, and all the best for you afterward, and we really appreciate your insight and your comments.
Thanks very much, Anubhav.